Welcome to Active Voice and Passive Voice. This is a fun grammar lesson designed for English learners. What is the active voice? We use the active voice to describe what someone or something does. The subject of the sentence is the one performing the action. For example, when we say Tom kicks the ball, Tom comes first because he does the action. Then comes the action kicks, and finally the ball. The subject does the action, and our focus is on who is doing it. Here, Tom is the subject doing the action. What is the passive voice? We use the passive voice to focus on the action itself, or when we do not know who performs the action. The object of the active sentence becomes the new subject at the beginning. For example, instead of focusing on Tom, we say the ball is kicked by Tom. We start with the object, the ball, then add a form of be with the past participle, is kicked, and lastly mention who did it using the word by. The action is our main focus, and the doer may be mentioned with by or left out completely. Here is our first example, showing simple present tense with plural subjects. In the active voice, we say, Grandma bakes the cookies. Here, Grandma is the subject who does the baking. When we change this to the passive voice, it becomes, the cookies are baked by Grandma. Notice how we start with the cookies, followed by are baked, and then by Grandma. Always use are for plural subjects, such as the cookies, the books, or the apples. Our second example shows a singular subject in the simple present tense. In the active voice, we say, Sophie writes a poem. Sophie is doing the writing. In the passive voice, it becomes, a poem is written by Sophie. We start with a poem, then add is written, followed by Sophie. Remember to use is for singular subjects, like a poem, the cake, or the door. Example 3 shows how to use am in the simple present tense. In the active voice, we say, Mr. Davis teaches me. In the passive voice, this becomes, I am taught by Mr. Davis. Here, we start with I, followed by am taught, and end with by Mr. Davis. We only use am when the subject is I. Example 4 teaches us how to use by to introduce the person who did the action. In the active voice, we say, Emma takes this photo. In the passive voice, we say, this photo is taken by Emma. It is correct to say, this photo is taken by Emma. It is incorrect to say, this photo is taken, Emma. Don't forget to include the word by. Example 5 shows how we can omit the doer. In the active voice, we say, she locks the door. In the passive voice, we can say, the door is locked. We can leave out the doer when it is not important or when we do not know who did it. We simply say, the door is locked, without needing to say who locked it. Your turn. Now it is time to practice. Change each active voice sentence into the passive voice. Look at the picture clue and fill in the blanks. Question 1. In the active voice, we have Ben eats the orange. How do we say this in the passive voice? The answer is, the orange is eaten by Ben. Question 2. In the active voice, we have Mom buys the bread. Let's complete the passive voice sentence. The answer is, the bread is bought by Mom. Question 3. In the active voice, we have Alex sharpens the colored pencils. How do we turn this into the passive voice? The answer is, the colored pencils are sharpened by Alex. Question 4. In the active voice, we have the waiter delivers the soup. Let's make it passive. The answer is, the soup is delivered by the waiter. Question 5. In the active voice, we have Carlos prepares the dinner. Changing this to the passive voice gives us the answer, the dinner is prepared by Carlos. Question 6. In the active voice, we have Jake breaks the vase. Let's write the passive voice sentence. The answer is, the vase is broken by Jake. Well done! You have learned how to use both active voice and passive voice in simple present sentences. Remember, in the active voice, the subject does the action, like Tom kicks the ball. In the passive voice, the action is done to the subject, like the ball is kicked by Tom. Key words to remember are is, are, or am combined with the past participle and the word by. Keep practicing. You are doing a fantastic job.